Some weeks back, if you remember, some things happened in our world. Something tragic happened in our world. If you remember the name Astroworld, yes, Astroworld, related issues to Travis Scott, where 9 people lost their lives and over 300 people were injured in that concert. Now, my sincere condolence to those who lost their friends and families in that concert, okay, and to those who were injured, I pray speedy recovery for you. All right, but something related to that is what I want to share today, and it's on proper crowd management for all events. This is applicable to all events. Proper crowd management. These are tips to proper crowd management, okay? So that's what we're going to talk about today. So let's get right into the video. Alright, you're welcome back to this video. Proper crowd management, the tips to proper crowd management, and I want to give it to you straight up. The very first tip is this: know the kind of audience you're expecting. I'll repeat that. Know the kind of audience you're expecting, and I'm going to explain it this way. If you're having, let's say, different events, we have a wedding is different from a wedding setting. A wedding event is different from an academic kind of event. An academic kind of event is different from a concert. A concert is different from a crusade. Know the kind of event you're gonna have. All right, this helps you to plan well. For example, in an academic environment, you don't expect people to be jumping, like jumping to music. That does not happen in an academic environment. Everybody's calm, listening to the speaker. In a wedding environment, in a wedding event, you understand that people are the focus of that event is for them to give gifts. They're dressing so nice to give gifts to the bride and groom, to dance and to eat. So it's a bit calm. All right, a bit calm but controlled also. In a concert, you see people gonna jump, people gonna shout, people gonna dance, people gonna scream, stuff like that. So the very first tip to proper crowd management is knowing the kind of audience you're expecting in your event. This will help you plan well, towards what to do and what not to do, okay, in managing this kind of crowd, the crowd you're expecting. Okay, now once you have had the knowledge of the audience, the people you're expecting, the next thing to do is plan towards the parties involved. Okay, for example, for a concert, you need emergency services. You're gonna need a lot of staff. You're gonna need local authorities. You're gonna need venue managers. Okay, you're gonna need a lot. Okay, emergency services can be split into many things: medical help, medical services, security, and all of that. So when you know the kind of audience you're expecting, it helps you to be able to plan towards the services you're going to be needing. And please, if you need to itemize these things, you have to, when you want to have your event, you have to write these things down. I'm going to need this, I'm going to need that. Okay, so that's the second tip I'm going to give to you. Know the services you're going to be needing. Be it local authorities, local security, or whatever. Know the services you're going to be needing. All right. Number 3, make a risk assessment. All right. No matter how well you plan towards potential dangers that can happen. For example, in a concert, you're gonna have wires around. Okay, there could be sparks. There could be smoke. There could be anything that will happen. Okay, so plan towards that. Okay, plan towards those potential risks that might happen. Okay, it's very important. Ensure and keep people away from it. Keep people away from those potential dangers. The next one is to have an emergency plan. Now, let me tell you this: no matter how you cross your T's and you dot your I's, there's still a possibility of some potential some emergencies to come up. These things happen, and it's very important to have a contingency plan every time. Now, potential dangers like fire, fire from anywhere, from a wire or something like that. Potential dangers of maybe people getting into a fight. Potential danger of a change in weather. Potential danger of a stampede. Things like this happen a lot of times, so you have to get prepared. Okay, plan towards, have a contingency plan. Okay, if people are fighting, that means if I'm thinking that okay, there might be a fight, Okay, please don't fight these things. Okay, there might be a fight. Okay, that means I have to get proper security towards this event. Okay, so as not to allow it, escalate, not to allow it to escalate. Also, it's important for for you to use a signage. Okay, a signage, put a signage where people should go to, where people should not go to. If the place that has a restroom, okay, have a signage, put it's very easy to do. Maybe print one, paste it somewhere and say, okay, this is the toilet, and demarcate it. This is different from this is for the gents, this is for the ladies. You understand? So you don't make your event have a bad name. Okay, you don't want to just let them find out if it's for, if you don't want a lady going to a guy's restroom. Okay, it can turn out badly and give your event a bad name. Okay, so it's very important to have a signage. It's very important to put be it ropes, okay, or barricades, to prevent people from getting to some places, getting to some wires, getting to some VIP sessions. You understand? It's very important you do that for your event. Okay, this is gonna help a smooth flow in your event. It's gonna help cut out potential dangers. Okay, so people already know where to go, they know where to get whatever they want to get. Okay, all right, another point is limit the access to alcohol. This is very important. As much as some people say, when they drink alcohol, when alcohol they feel fly, okay, so much of it can lead to something else, whereby a person loses control. Person loses control. So limit the use the access to alcohol in your event. Okay, this helps in managing your managing crowds. Don't forget, we're talking about tips on crowd management. All right, another point is, if there's tendency for your I said at first that you should know your audience. If there's tendency for your audience to bring illegal stuffs inside, okay, that means you need security to search them before they come inside your event. It is very, very important. You have to plan all of these things. You have to plan everything together. It's very important for you. Another thing which causes sometimes has caused stampede, I've seen some, is towards the entry. Maybe when people want to enter a concert, want to go in for an event, sometimes you see a lot of stampede due to long queues. Okay, long queues, and you see people sometimes faint from exhaustion. Alright, one way to control all of this is you can have multiple checkpoints. You can use barcodes, you can use scanner, QR codes, okay, to make it more easier for them to enter the event. It is much more cool this way. And you can use ticketing apps. Just search on your browser ticketing apps to make it much more easier for them to get into the venue. Okay, for a more civilized event, it is a great turn off when they come for your meeting and there's a long queue. They want to just join your queue, they want to go into the event and they're seeing a long queue. Alright, the first thing that's going to come to their mind is, okay, let's just turn back, and that's not really good for your event. Okay, so make use of these things I said. Alright, use multiple checkpoints. You can use barcodes, you can use QR codes for people to come inside. Use ticketing apps also. Alright, so I don't know what number is that, but I know maybe you're counting for me. Alright, the next one is be well staffed. Have good number of staffs. Okay, you don't want to be understaffed. Good number of staffs before your event. Okay, call your staff. Your old staff should know the old venue. They should know that I wanted to call it hideout. They should know every corner in every venue, all your staffs. This is very important. And there should be a convenient way of communication. Be it you use a walkie-talkie, or all your staffs are on the same social media group, so that you guys can communicate very effectively. Okay, place your staffs at strategic points in the venue, and make sure they are at key places in that venue. For example, in the entrance, in the check-in point, where they're going to purchase tickets, at the seated areas, the guest service areas, the stage. Make sure they're at key points in the venue. Big event, large crowds requires a third party security to control the crowd, to maintain law and order within the crowd. So it is not something you can do away with. You need security at your events. This is still the tips to crowd management. You need security at your event. Now, the things your security do for you is this: they help in screening. screening people to enter your event. They help to break off physical confrontation. Maybe somebody starts a fight in your event, they help to break that off. That's why you need the security. They also help to contact emergency services. Okay, when you have your event, they help to contact emergency services. Now, your security personnel must be easily accessible by your staffs. All your staff members, remember I said before you start the event, make sure that all of them are together. Have a meeting with them together. They should know the places in the venue, the important places, the key areas in the venues, and also give them the security, maybe the head of security's number, all right, so that they can call immediately there's an emergency, whichever place the emergency is coming from. You understand? This is very important. And lastly, when you have your when you're done with your events, review your strategy with your security, with everybody. Bring everybody together, your staff, and review your strategy. Okay, what is it that we should have done better for your, for the sake of next meetings? Okay, what is it we should have done better, and what are the challenges we faced in this event? Okay, so those are the tips for crowd management I'm bringing to you today. So I believe you're going to use them. All right, if you have more, you can tell me more in the comment section. If you have questions also, you can ask. All right, this is very useful for everybody. For gospel crusades, you have a gospel concert. Okay, things happen. Don't think that and something I didn't add is, okay, for your emergencies, things happen. They steal phones. Know how to control all of that. For your gospel concert, for your event, this is always applicable. For whatever crusade you have, always applicable. All right, so thank you so much. I've come to the end of this video. Please, if you've not subscribed, please do well to subscribe. I promise I'm going to bring you content, very, very wonderful content. I go by the name Pilex, and this is still Pilex Live. See you in my next video.